Okay, a lot of y'all been wanting to hear my thoughts on this fight. Some of y'all wanted to hear it last night, but man, the coach worked like 17 hours, man. I was just tired. Couldn't even stay up. I was gonna do a live stream show. I just couldn't do it, y'all. And at some point in time, the body be like, "Look, sit down, sit down." Okay. Um, yeah, but that's what happened. This fight I knew that this was going to be a tough fight for Cindy Dandois. Cindy knew that this was going to be a tough fight, but I knew that this was going to be a frustrating fight for Kayla Harrison. And I got to give Kayla a lot of props in this particular fight. I got to, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I'm going to give Kayla just this one time. Just this one time, I'm going to give Kayla Harrison props. The fight, pretty much, man. You immediately you saw the size differential. And, because Cindy was telling me that, she's not a normal 155er. She's just not a person that fills that out well. And she only weighed in at, what, 152 pounds. The size differential was, guys, I'm telling you, Kayla Harrison is a very, very, very big fighter. She's big, man. And it's just that mass. The mass is just, and it's not even like Kayla isn't. Kayla is very good with the judo and the ground game. She's good with that. But when she came into this fight, Kayla actually wanted to keep the fight standing for a while. She wanted to, and I guess that she knew that Cindy, her striking wasn't as polished as some of the other people she's been in the octagon with. So Kayla was actually going to try to go ahead and just test her stand up. And I kind of wish Cindy would have followed the lead in that and just let them both just have hands. Just let them both go hand to hand. Kayla threw a nice body kick to Cindy. Cindy actually was probing a jab that, had Kayla resetting. So I was like, okay, well, maybe Cindy will keep this jab up. No, I didn't. Cindy, to my surprise, went for a takedown. And then Kayla, when she stuffed the takedown, Cindy just rolled on her back and was inviting Kayla to come into her guard. Well, that's exactly what Kayla did. Cindy was very confident and comfortable with her guard. And, she was just going to play the game like, look, this is somewhere, I can fight out of the guard. Here's my chance. And I think in Cindy's mind, she believed that her best chance to win this fight was probably, on the ground. And so, she did what a judoka does. She went to the ground and she was ready to go. Um, so Kayla went into the guard of Cindy Dandois. Kayla dove in there. It's like Kayla was like, "Oh, okay. So you want me to go in your guard? Okay." Kayla jumped in that guard fast, and then Cindy was trying to maneuver her hips to try to get a triangle, but Kayla was having none of that. Kayla just shrugged that off. She defended that well, and Kayla started throwing body shots, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, why is she throwing?" And then I figured out why Kayla Harrison wasn't throwing many head strikes. Kayla Harrison didn't want to seriously hurt. Like she didn't want to hurt. She didn't want to hurt her. And it was clearly evident, man. Because in my opinion, I think Kayla Harrison could have done a lot more damage. I think she could have did much more damage than what she wanted to, but she didn't. And when Kayla just finally, Kayla punched Cindy in the jaw like once, and then Kayla kind of looked and was like, like Kayla just didn't want to do damage. So finally, she just said, you know what? um, let's try to fish for an armbar. And that's what she did. She fished for an armbar, and immediately, Cindy, she kind of knew that the fight was over. She knew it was over. Cindy just tapped immediately. And Cindy, arm definitely got wrecked. Her arm got wrecked. Um, I think in normal circumstances, I think if the fight were to be at 145 pounds, I think Cindy probably would have had more of a chance in this fight. And just because Kayla, man, Kayla looked like she was about 175 pounds, man. Guys, you guys got to go watch the fight. And it's like, it don't matter, who you are. There are two fighters on the planet that they would know what to do in these situations, and they would know how to deal with Kayla Harrison. There are two. Okay, there are two. And they're two of the best fighters in the world. And these are the fighters that I believe that if Kayla Harrison fights these two, she's gonna lose to them. and you guys know who it is. But the weight was it affected Cindy immediately, and she knew that there was something wrong. She knew she couldn't deal with the weight. She couldn't deal with it. And Kayla is just she's strong, man. The damn woman is just strong. She's strong as hell, and she's got the weight advantage over all these women. She's gonna fight Jenna Fabian, and I gotta admit, Kayla answered the questions like a G. Hey, the guy asked, he said, "Hey, did Jenna Fabian do anything that impressed you?" Kayla was like, no." And then they asked, "Hey, did Larissa Pacheco do anything that impressed you?" Kayla said, no. And that's the answer she's supposed to give, because you got somebody in there who you about to fight, that they could very well take they could end your livelihood. So yeah, Kayla answered the questions how I thought she would. She just said, "Nah, I ain't worried about them. I ain't worried about none of them." She said, "Look, there's nobody in the PFL that can deal with me," and she said it point blank. Now something that worried me in this fight though, and I was kind of looking at this, I was like, man, you know what? If Kayla had this kind of problem, because Pacheco, in my previous video, I said I don't know if Pacheco can beat Kayla. Kayla just looked like I don't know, man. She didn't look. Part of me thinks she was holding back, and part of me believes that I don't think she's gonna hold back on Pacheco. I don't think she's gonna hold back, and she's not gonna give Pacheco an opportunity or a window to fight. Like she gave Cindy Dandois a window to throw strikes. She gave it to her, and Kayla wasn't. Her intentions were not to get this fight to the ground. Now for Pacheco, yeah, Kayla taking the fight to the ground. She ain't finna stand and wait, because Pacheco got one hit or quitter power. I give Kayla some respect, man, because Kayla could have really, she could have did more than what she did, but she chose to just end the fight quick. You know, she chose to end it when she did, um, and it also may have cost her the number one ranking. But I don't. I think Kayla is so confident that she'll win this tournament. She don't even really care about being the number one ranked, whatever. She don't care. She's just like, okay, I'll fight the next person, and we're gonna fight. And Jenna Fabian is just gonna be my next victim. Um, I give Jenna Fabian a chance in that fight, and here's why. Um, Jenna Fabian to me gets a chance because her foot movement, she's very good, man. Her takedown defense is actually is pretty good in my opinion, but she moves very well. And see, I started thinking about the whole Holly Holm and whole Holly Holm and Ronda Rousey situation. And there are two people in this tournament that who I said could probably, there are three that could probably defeat Kayla Harrison if everything is right. One was Jenna Fabian, one was Caitlin Young, and the other one was Larissa Pacheco. But I would give Caitlin Young more of a better chance, and it's crazy because people are saying, why would you give her more of a chance? I give her more of a chance because Kayla Harrison isn't the striker that Morena Moraes was. Kayla Harrison isn't a striker at all. And Caitlin Young moves extremely well. And I think Caitlin Young versus Kayla Harrison, I think that's a bad stylistic matchup for Kayla. It is because Caitlin Young moves very fluidly. Jenna Fabian moves very well too. So, Jenna is going to have to keep Kayla at the end of her jab. She got to be ready because Kayla Harrison has gotten better, and you can tell. Now, Kayla is now cutting off the octagon a lot better. Like before, I noticed that Kayla would follow people around the octagon, and she wasn't very good at cutting it off. Kayla has fixed that hole in her game. She's fixed that hole in her game, and she cut off the octagon good, very well. So, they're going to have to be prepared, man, because Kayla more than likely is going to come in. She's going to come in at 170 plus. Guys, she had to be damn near almost 175. Easily. Easily. But, it is what it is, man. You fight. Cindy, she out of her prime, y'all. She out of her prime. We everybody knew this in the MMA community. Cindy been out of her prime, man. She fight. She fight to keep money in her pocket, keep the bread in her pocket. But she's been out of her prime for about 4 or 5 years now. So it is what it is, man. Cindy, went in there. Look, man, she did the best she could. It's just Kayla Harrison too big and too strong. Salute to the WMMA universe. Salute to my homie Cindy Dandois. I'm out.